Aho to ye travellers, cometh young, cometh old. 'Tis adventure we seek for the meek and the bold. A knight and a wizard who drinks smashes sour have a magic crusade for you this questing hour.
Hello, travelers! Welcome back to the Questing Hour podcast.
Welcome back. And of course, as you can see, our guest is way up there.
High in the tower!
I wonder if we call her name, if she will come down. Mars!
Mars!
Let down your hair!
There she comes! Yay! Mars, welcome to the Questing Hour.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course!
How you feeling?
I'm nervous.
That's okay. I feel like everyone's a little nervous because they don't know what we're about yet.
Yeah, but I promise we're so nice.
We don't bite.
I believe it. I believe it.
Well, Mars, I figured I would have you on here because I know that you've gone through some experiences and you're also a content creator and streamer. And so I wanted to have you on here to get your little perspective on life and, you know, living your best life and whatnot. Would you like to tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Wait. Can you guys hear my dog?
A little bit, but that's okay.
It's fine. Yeah.
Hold on, let me put her away.
You're good.
That's understandable. I have to do the same thing.
Yeah, my cats are locked away. Oh my gosh, I was cleaning my windows this morning because I wanted to open them to like let the cats smell the fall air. There were like 5 spiders in my window. I almost died.
The window?
Yeah.
All right, editor Maggie.
Yeah, we're back.
First cut. Okay, a little bit about myself as like a content creator.
As a person, whatever you would like to share with us.
Okay. I am Mars. I am a streamer / content creator, I guess I would say. I started pursuing this probably about 4 years ago, where it was like, it was COVID when we got the stimulus check and I had that little extra money and I was like, okay, what do I want to do with this? And I decided I wanted to be a content creator. So I invested in like a camera and a mic and like lights. But it took me about 3 years to get comfortable with like seeing myself on camera and hearing my voice in order to even start like putting anything out there. And so I have been streaming / making videos on TikTok for a little bit over a year now. But yeah, it was a big lead up to where we are now, basically. Yeah.
I love that you chose to say invest because that's really what you're doing is investing in yourself. And even though it took you some time to warm up to the idea, you're here now, you're doing it. You know, your most recent series on TikTok is reaching out to brands and trying to become a full-time content creator.
Yes. I'm really excited. Sorry, my freaking
You're fine.
falling. Everything's going wrong.
You're good.
We've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, my most recent series is basically documenting the process of becoming a full-time content creator. Because really, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that I'm very passionate about it, and this is what I want to pursue. And so I don't know. I just kind of want to give people the motivation to like go outside of their comfort zones and go after what makes them happy. Because at least here in America, like all we are able to focus on is our job and our jobs that make us miserable, and we dedicate all our time to that. And, you know, we're all just on survival mode. And so I don't know. I just want to share it to like hopefully inspire some people to dedicate whatever time extra they have left to stuff that they are passionate about, and hopefully in the end make it and be like an example that you can make it to.
Yeah, I love that.
That's so inspiring, and that's kind of what we do on this podcast, just trying to get out of that 9 to 5, go to work, come home, go to work, come home kind of mindset and live for those moments outside of your routine. And so that's really cool that we're on like kind of chasing that same desire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like same idea,
Mhm.
different paths.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so cool.
That's so cool. Yeah, I feel
Mhm.
like our generation is looking a little bit more into like our happiness rather than like just surviving. Like we actually want to live, which
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
you know, like I come from immigrant parents, and so I know, you know, I've seen what the sacrifices that they have made in their lifetime, and a lot of it was just to like keep us afloat. And I think like it's such a like the benefits are really reaping now because now like we are questioning things and we're like looking more into like you know like pushing the standards of what is normal and what we should do and like seeking more for us and I really I'm happy. I feel like I love the generation that we're in because there's so much progress happening that
Hmm.
um I'm just like happy to be here to witness it.
Yeah, yeah, I totally get
Yeah,
that. Mhm.
I could agree. I think we're all definitely kind of finding ways to definitely push the boundaries on society and kind of break free from this idea of what society tells us how life should be, as
Mhm.
opposed to how we should actually be living for ourselves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool, very cool.
Awesome.
So, since you're, on this adventure of streaming and content creation, how would you personally define the idea of adventure? What is adventure to you?
um I think adventure would be doing the things that make you afraid. And, you know, obviously there's the obvious answer of like going on trips and like traveling the country, which
Mhm.
I dedicated most of my 20s to. Um, like most of my early 20s, I whatever money I'd make, I'd invest it right back into a trip and I would
I
try to go
love
to
that.
Mhm.
yeah, because I really wanted to be like I really wanted to see a lot of the world and so most of my early 20s I would try to go like on trips at least twice a year. And I feel like now it's so different because
Mhm.
obviously like the state of the economy and stuff, like it's kind of impossible to even plan a trip now.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I'm just learning that like there's so much excitement in just like challenging yourself every day and getting out of your comfort zone because I'm very much the kind of person that like likes to stay in her own little bubble and like stay home and like not adventure too far out. But
Understandable.
Mhm.
yeah. But I don't know, I'm finding new ways to like explore things in my daily life from the comfort of my home.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
I
like
love that.
creating your own adventure within your comfort zone.
Mhm.
Hmm.
That's
That's awesome.
interesting.
Yeah.
I like that. I definitely
Mhm.
think it's good that you said that like it's part of it is doing things that you're scared of because
Hmm.
even though you're still kind of remaining in your comfort zone, if you're scared of it, it's not really in your comfort zone. So you're kind of like transforming your own mindset and into thinking like, oh, my comfort zone can also be fun, but these other things outside of my comfort zone can also be my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So that is really cool.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the way I'm looking at content creation now because like yeah, I've been doing it for about a year, but it still makes me really afraid to put stuff out there because I'm like obviously like people's opinion. I'm like, oh, like what if they think I'm like lame, like or like, you know, like whatever
Mhm.
people's judgments may be. But now I'm like this is what I want to do and like I dedicate so much time or have dedicated so much time in my lifetime to like a job. And I always, if a manager tells me, hey, do this, I always do it and I get it done. And so, like, why don't I dedicate that? Why am I not as dedicated to myself? And so, yeah, like trying to put myself out there is really scary. But now I'm like, I'm not going to listen to the fear anymore. Like I'm just gonna go after it because, you know, like what's more scary, like doing it and hearing people's opinions or never having done it at all, you know?
I 100% agree.
That's awesome. Yeah. I don't know if you have like a good answer because I definitely don't, but do you have any like specific ways where you like change your mindset, like specific things that you can do?
Yeah, like what helps push you
Yeah.
to do those things that you are scared of?
Mhm.
I think you know what? Honestly, I think just looking at bigger streamers and seeing them like being able to do whatever they want with their time
Yeah.
and the freedom and the creativity that they can do in their jobs. And I'm like, I want that for myself. Like I want to be able to control my own time, my own schedule, and like imagine like having a job like this where we could just podcast or
Just be
Right.
talking.
just be talking. Like, yeah, there's so many content creators out there who are successful at what we do. Like, why can't it be us?
I love that. Yeah.
I mean,
Truly.
yeah, that's that. I guess that's basically it. Just the motivation to like have financial freedom and freedom of time. Yeah.
Yeah, just keeping those goals in mind the whole time is super helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. I know people say like don't do it for the money, but like
Hey, if it works,
I like
it works.
money.
Money sounds
I like
good.
money.
Well, I always tell people, especially when it comes to streaming, because like people will jump into streaming or even just like content creation and entrepreneurship and automatically expect to just kind of get rich.
Oh,
And it's like
yeah.
a lot of it is, you know, all work and no pay for a while. You know, if we didn't actually enjoy creating our communities or playing these games and having this time online, then we wouldn't do it because we don't get paid for it to begin with.
Yeah.
You know, but eventually we can, and if we could do that full time, that would be fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
One day
Oh my gosh,
we'll all
yeah.
be there.
I know.
I believe in
Yeah.
us.
Social media is such a gamble. Like there are some days or some months where like my streams will be so slow and like I'm just not doing well in the algorithm. And then the next month is like people are really supportive and like things are getting out there. And that's why I'm learning to not like look at specific numbers or like if I have a bad stream, not like bring me down and be like, I guess I just should not do this. But like in the grand scheme of things, like things take a lot of time. I feel like with TikTok, it makes it feel like if you're not successful overnight, like it's not gonna happen for you. But look at like old YouTubers. Like it used to take them like 10 years to build their community and like get to the point where they could do it sustainably, like and live off of it. So
Exactly.
yeah. And it's fun. So much fun.
Yeah, right? If you're having fun during it, it doesn't matter how long it takes.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So, have you ever heard of the hero's journey?
No, what's that?
Okay, so the hero's journey is kind of like a sum of the cycle that a hero goes through, whether it's in stories or movies or legends or whatever. And it's the cycle that he goes through on his adventure that just describes like kind of where he is. So I'll give you a quick rundown of the hero's journey so that you know what it is, and then we would like to have you tell us where you think you are in your life's hero's journey.
Okay.
So for the hero's journey, we have, you know, kind of like a clock, and we have the ordinary world, you know, your regular everyday life. You're kind of waiting for your next adventure to come to you. And then you get the call to adventure. Something happens that kind of shakes up your ordinary world a little bit, and you're kind of deciding whether or not to, you know, do something about it or kind of stay in your ordinary world. Then you have, you know, that refusal to the call where you're like, I don't know if I should. I'm a little scared. I don't know if I want to go on this adventure. It's not for me. And then we have meeting your mentor and crossing the threshold, which is you're like, you know what? I will go on this adventure. Something gave me that last shove that I needed, and now I'm going to jump into this unknown world and see what happens to me. Now you're in the unknown world, and you're going through these tests and allies and enemies to figure out, who are your friends, who are not your friends, who you are. And in this time we're getting to the part of the hero's journey where it's called the darkest night of the soul. And that is your rock bottom, basically. And in that rock bottom, eventually you pick yourself up and you get a reward after going through your ordeal and all your trials and tests. And with that reward, you go back into your ordinary world with this reward, and you're kind of waiting for your next adventure. We're back into the beginning of the cycle. Oh. So that is the hero's journey. It's used a lot in literature. I learned it in high school, but yeah, we started talking about this early in the podcast because the way that a hero's journey is functioned is kind of like how our lives are functioned. We go through this cycle many times over in our lives. Like, I am in my darkest night of the soul, and I will be here for a minute. Mm-hmm. But eventually I'll get out. Yeah. And so where would you think you would fall on that cycle?
I guess this summer I was definitely at the rock bottom point where like I did like in February I did kind of hit a stride where like I was really successful in like I was really growing at a rate that I had never seen before. Mm-hmm. And like that got me really excited and kind of gave me a second wave to keep going. And then I kind of fell into like a depression, and I was not in the best environment. And so I had to put a pause on everything, and like my mentality was not good. Like I was in a spot where like I thought things wouldn't get better. Like I thought I was going to be stuck in that situation for a very long time, and like just having really dark thoughts. And like, even though the thing that I was passionate about was succeeding, like I couldn't even put effort into it because my environment was not great. And so I think now I'm kind of at the point where you mentioned right before rock bottom, where I'm like, I just like I had that experience, and now I'm like, now I feel like nothing can stop me. Like I'm ready to go. I know what I want, and I'm ready to go full force at it.
Okay.
Yeah. I love that. The part in like superhero movies where the superhero gets like beaten down and they're on the ground, but then they stand up and they're like twice as powerful as they were before, and they're like throwing punches at the speed of light.
Yes.
Imagine that.
That's you, Mars.
Because you've taken all these punches, but you got through it. You came to the other side of it, and so once you pass that, you're like, I can do anything, and I have all the knowledge and experience that I gained through that terrible experience, and I'm ready to keep going.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly how I feel.
Yes.
I'm very happy that you got to the other side of it.
Thank you. Me too. It was a dark few months.
Yeah.
But you got through it. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am proud of you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So if you're comfortable, only if you're comfortable, but I know that you did move across country, and you did move back. You don't have to go into too much detail of why you did either or unless you want to. But I was wondering, what was the thought process of like kind of making the decision to go in the first place? Like that's a really long trip.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. At the time I had met some friends who were willing to take me in, and I like where I live currently, and at the before at that time nondescript location
yes,
right.
yes, of course.
I'm basically back in my hometown, which my entire family lives here. And like I was just having a hard time because I am queer and it's not widely known. I mean, it is to the public, to the general public, but not to like my closest family members. And it was just getting really difficult because I am 28 years old. And so I want to be able to freely express myself, like even just physically. Like the more queer I presented myself, the more uncomfortable it made my family members. And um, so I had an opportunity to move across the country and I was like, great, like who knows when's the next time I'll be able to move out and have my, have an opportunity to like start my life. And especially in California, which is where I've always wanted to live. And then I moved over there and like things were really positive and really exciting. And then it just got difficult to like find a job for like 3 months because I was in a small town and there was no like big nearby towns for like at least 2 hours. And so opportunities were limited. The location itself, like California, has a lot more like homelessness because it is like a sanctuary state that offers a lot of help. And so, but it was like to an extent that I had never seen before because they were like constantly people just zombied out walking on the streets and like at every corner and not to say that they don't deserve help. I'm just saying like I wasn't used to seeing that amount.
No,
and so
I
that was
understand.
like a big culture shock for me. And yeah, and so it was just hard to like get a jump start because it took me 3 months to find a job. And so the timeline that I had like planned out got ruined, and then my living situation got like complicated, and I just wasn't. It looked like further and further of an opportunity for me to get back on my feet and like get back, and like get my own place and my own independence out there. And so that started, like I started realizing like I'm in this state all by myself, basically, and no support system, barely any money, and like I'm seeing these people living on the streets and I'm like fearing for myself because I know like if anybody can have like an emergency and that end up being you because you never know where life is going to take you.
It could literally happen in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, like even one small emergency can like ruin you financially, and like you just never know. And so and then I got a call from my parents and they were like, oh, we the studio that I was living in before, the person that was took over was leaving, and they were like, it's yours if you want it. And I was like, I'm there.
That was like perfect timing. You're like, I'm on the way.
Yeah, and obviously like I really didn't want to. I wanted to be able to stay out there and like know that I did it and I like stood on my own 2 feet, but it was a hard decision, and I like I was a little disappointed in myself because I was like, like I was really excited to be out there and like finally be closer to my goal, and like I had all these plans, and then it just turned into like a really, really dark few months. And but like I'm just really grateful to have somewhere to fall on, and that's why I'm like really, really motivated now to like go after it, because I do finally I'm like in a secure spot. So I'm like, I don't know, like I really need to take advantage of the fact that I have a safe location now, and like I can pursue the things that I want to pursue. And I think I really took that for granted before I moved. So that was a really big lesson for me, and I'm grateful for my family. Like even though we have our differences, like not everybody has that to fall back on. And so yeah, like it felt like a failure, but I don't know, I'm just grateful to to be at least getting closer to back on my feet again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you
thank
for
you for sharing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely understand the self-disappointed feeling 100%, you know. And I think that as much as you felt, a little disappointed in yourself, at least it's fueled you to have this motivation. Since you've come out on the other side, you have this full-fledged, like, all right, you know what, I'm safe and secure now. Then I can pursue all this stuff without taking it for granted and just full-fledged dive into this path that I want to take. And I would say that's a good thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good lesson for sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely gaining that experience. And I know we like just met, but I can tell that you're so passionate about it and you want it so badly. Even if it didn't work out the first time, like you will get there. I know that you have the strength and the passion and the determination to get there. So, I mean, even if it takes longer than you think, I feel like all of us as creatives and as people who are pursuing like non not desk jobs, it's going to take us all a while to get there. And like you said, on TikTok, it looks like it happens overnight, but it doesn't. It takes a long time and it takes blood and sweat and tears. And it takes, trying and failing and trying again. But passion,
Hmm.
determination, and the support systems that we have, those are the things that'll get us there in the end.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was very individualistic
Yeah.
for many years. It was kind of just like a survival thing. Like
Hmm.
I thought like it's easier for me to just be on my own because then like I don't get hurt or whatever it may be. But yeah, I'm realizing as I get older how important community is and cherishing that and nurturing that like it's very important.
Absolutely. Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, but I appreciate your words.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that with us. Yeah.
Um, I guess we got a couple more questions and then we can get into a little bit of fun, a little bit more fun
Some silly
questions.
questions. Yeah.
Silly questions. So what would you say is like what would you tell somebody who is looking to not necessarily pursue content creation, but what would you tell somebody that is looking to pursue their passions, like who is trying to live their best life? Like what do you think is important about doing that?
Um, I think I kind of said it a little bit before, but like I think we like we dedicate so much of our time to companies that don't care about us and like we don't question the tasks that they give us like like we do our daily work, we show up, we do our 8 hours and like um we like we do that like why can't we give ourselves that same motivation? And like I'm not saying that it's easy at all,
Hmm.
like I'm not I understand like life is so busy and like we work 40 hours and then we come home and we're tired and we just want to sleep and or relax. But it like if we're willing to do that for someone else, like we kind of have to look inward and be like, okay, if I want to build something for myself, then I have to be just as dedicated for
Mhm.
myself. And like even dedicating at least an hour every day to your passion makes so much of a difference because it'll take you further than if you wait and say, I'm gonna wait till like the perfect moment where I have the time. Then you're not gonna have the tools because like things are really messy. Nothing is going to be perfect in the beginning. You're not going to have you're not going to know in the beginning everything that you need to do. Like it's all trial and error. And so if you're dedicating at least, a little bit of time every day to it, you're already prepping yourself better for when you have that moment to where you can like fully dedicate yourself to it. you're already more advanced than where if you were to have not ever like given any time to it. And so yeah, I would just say like set aside a little bit of time throughout the week for yourself. And it also like just builds a little bit of inspiration in you because you're um like you're building that self-discipline to do something for yourself, as we do for the companies. And like it depends like if you're trying to do it full time or whatever. Like I just think that we sometimes like look at bigger creators and think like, oh, that could never be me, or people who pursue their passions in whatever sphere or open their own businesses. Like we think that could never be me, but really the only difference is like they started to put in the work, and they started going after it. There's no like, no one is like the chosen one as to making it. Like everybody can do whatever they set their mind to, as long as they're willing to put in the work and adapt as they go, and like seek the communal help, because doing things individualistically really you'll burn out. And you don't get much inspiration when you don't talk to other people or like collaborate with other people like you guys are doing. Like,
Yes.
you like, this is so fun. And I had a podcast. That's when I had a podcast too with my best friend. That was before I started streaming, and that helped me so much.
I love that. What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Icon.
Yeah, we did it for a little bit, and like we just did it for fun, but it helped me so much because I was never a person that like liked hearing my voice, and I didn't really feel confident in what I had to say or anything like that. And so just doing that, even if we didn't want it to be like a huge successful thing, just prepped me for what I'm doing now. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love that. We in our last episode on Monday, if y'all remember, we talked about the elements of adventure, and Mars is highlighting a big one, which is community.
Yeah.
And connecting and branching out to people, because that's where things like your help comes from, your security, your inspirations. Like, community is part of the adventure. So I love that now that you're older, like you said, you're kind of leaning on that idea that like you don't have to be alone in doing these things. You can lean on other people.
Yeah. I'm sad that it took me so long to realize it, but like
better late than never.
Yeah.
Right. You got there.
Yeah. I love that. I think what you're saying kind of reminds me of like when I was in high school, I was super motivated at one point to like really just become so disciplined with myself, like in the best way possible, because I had like so much going on, I felt like, and for my mental health, I was trying like anything I could. And so when I woke up for school at like 5 a.m., I would put on like a hour-long like
I love
an hour Josh, Maggie. Like an hour-long motivational YouTube video.
Okay.
It was like those grown men being like, if you don't do it right now, you will never do it.
Wake up and start grinding.
And
oh
that's
my
what
God.
I did like every day. And part of me, it was like, it has like the mystical, magical like music in the background while these grown men are screaming at you. And I was like, you know what? You're right. We all do have the same 24 hours. But what sets us apart is when we get up at 5 a.m. and grind.
Yeah. The 5 to 9 before the 9 to 5.
I'm dead. I mean, if it helps you,
right?
Yeah, it works.
But like, not exactly the same mindset as them, but in the idea that we all do have the same 24 hours, and like, you dedicate a chunk of that for another company or another corporation just so you can pay your bills, but like, where's the part that you dedicate to yourself to pursue the long run type of things? And I like that you're highlighting that, because that is important. That is what we're all about.
Yeah.
Living our days intentionally for ourselves.
That's so important.
Yeah. All right. Final serious question. Because you've already given us so much insight, honestly. Of like, but do you have any other like advice that you would give to people? Like, what is the best advice you've ever received, or what, like, if anything, do you want people to take away from this?
I would say just life is too short to like not go after what you're excited about and passionate about. And if you do, be willing to adapt and be constantly willing to look at what's working for you and what's not, and keep up with the trends. Like, especially if you're a content creator, like there's so many people that I hear saying like, oh, I've been streaming for like 10 years and I have 200 followers and I'm not really growing. And I think our society, especially with like the internet, is constantly changing. So like if you're not up and keeping up with the trends and what's working right now, then you're going to fall behind really quickly. And so just don't let things like your emotions or like numbers and stuff derail you. Just keep looking at what you can do better and testing new things, um and just don't look at yourself as like less because of where you are right now in life. Like there are so many opportunities in this world and so many beautiful things for you to experience. Like if things are dark right now, it's just a bump in the road, and like keep pushing and keep pursuing what makes you happy. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
That's my best advice.
It's great. It's great.
And that's great advice.
Yeah.
I saw this post the other day that was it was like someone like posting something on Facebook, and they're just like, as I get older, I realize more and more that the cliches are all true.
Right? Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? That is true.
Yeah.
For a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no wonder I've been hearing this my whole life. It's real.
Yeah.
Maybe I should start listening to those motivational videos.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
I think it's a must for everyone at one point in their lives.
I definitely used to listen to like the Rocky Balboa speech with like inspiring music in the background.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
I
good.
could do anything.
That's how you gotta wake up in the morning.
Right.
Brush your teeth.
That's so good. So good.
Oh my god, what was I thinking? I would literally rise and grind, listen to that while I'm getting ready, and then meditate for 10 minutes, and then do a little workout, and then go to school.
You're getting all of it done. It's kind of living the dream though. That's crazy.
Before school, yeah. And I had to be in early because at the time I did JROTC.
There it is.
So, hey.
It's all coming together.
You're like, no wonder. I did JROTC at the time, so I had to be in school early. So like in order to get myself to like wake up and not be tired, I was like, I have to do everything I possibly can.
Yeah.
That's what I came up with.
Oh my gosh, the dedication.
Yeah. It only lasted a little bit, but my mental was so good.
Like, yeah, kind of impressive, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, and I think I went like 3 days without meditating once, and my sister at the time was like 5 years old or 6 or something, and oh my god, she's so old now. She was. I was like, wait a minute. How old was she? What's it called? But she was like 6 or something. She like came in one morning because it was like after school or whatever. She came into my room and I like said something to her and she was like, "Did you meditate today?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "Yeah. Well, you should."
I can tell. That's so funny.
I was like, "Well, all right, get in here and meditate with me then if you're gonna be a jerk about it.
Oh, that's great.
Freaking 6, 7 years old calling my ass out.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's
great.
Sometimes we all need my little sister. Shout out redacted.
yeah.
Let's go, sister.
You know what's crazy is I struggled with that a lot too, because I was kind of the same way as you. At least like my junior and senior year of high school, like I was so motivated. I would get up in the morning, I'd go for a mile run before school. And then I was like in 3 dual enrollment classes. Like I was in it. I
Yes,
loved
ma'am.
it. And then when I graduated high school, like I would work 40 hours and I would save up my money, and I was so like disciplined.
Like in it, yes.
Yeah. And I could handle so much. And then as I started getting older, like all my self-discipline went out the window. Yes, completely. Like now I cannot work 40 hours. Like I start to get like real dark thoughts. Like it's like
me.
no good. Yeah.
It's like child prodigy turned burnt out.
Literally,
exactly. Yeah,
real quick.
Yeah, it's a struggle. But oh my gosh. Anyways. Okay, so now some of the more fun questions, because you said you spent some of your 20s traveling. I want to know the best place you've ever traveled to. Because I have not I've been to like 2 places my whole life.
Really?
Yes. So I would love to hear your favorite and least favorite.
Ooh.
Some tea.
I've been to, in my 20s, I went to a lot of places, but I think my favorite was probably New York.
Oh, I love New York.
Yeah, I was gonna say Maggie loves New York.
I love New York. Yeah. If I could live there right now, I would.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
I wanted
if you guys
to
live there, you'll be closer to me when I move to where I'm going.
Oh,
really?
I'll hit you up.
Yes, and I'll be able to see you guys all the time.
We can just take the train.
Take the train over.
Yeah.
That would be so fun.
That's so funny. What do you love about New York? What do you like about New York? I just want to know the appeal, because I like to visit, but I could never imagine myself living there.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I'm a city girl. Like I grew up in Miami, so I am used to like there constantly being things going on.
Just the
like,
noise of the city.
Yeah, the noise of the city and like events. Like it doesn't matter what day of the week it is here. Like there are always events to go to or groups to be a part of. Like there's just so many people here and so much diversity that whatever you want to be part of, you can look it up on Google and there's a group for it or an event for it.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about New York, is that you could like, it could be a random Tuesday and you could be like, I want to learn how to skate, and like look on Instagram and there'll be like an event for queer skaters, and like,
I love that.
Yeah.
there's so much going
That's so
on.
cool.
'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, and then like and New York, I feel like feels more like a community, because my cousin lived there for a while, and so I had the opportunity to like meet people over there, and like she would just be like walking home and then like run into people that she knows, and I'm like,
that's
that's so
awesome.
nice.
Yeah.
Like, but I did I went to New York a few times by myself too, like twice.
Oh wow.
The first time because I had just gotten out of a serious relationship, a 2-year relationship, and then we were gonna go there for our anniversary, but I ended up just going by myself, and it was such a good time. And
That's
I was just
amazing.
like going to the park to run in
Yes,
the morning,
ma'am.
and like just pretending like I lived in New York, and it was such a nice vibe.
That's kind of the best way to travel. It's just to
love that.
pretend you're a local wherever you go.
Pretend you live there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
That's
That
too
way you get
good.
to really experience the place.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I love that.
And least favorite, that's a hard one. Maybe Denver, Colorado.
Oh.
Okay. Mhm.
Just not used to that kind of area. Yeah, it's a different vibe. I mean, it's nice, obviously, and but
Yeah, I feel like it's like kind of chill there in a different way. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
not only the weather itself, but
Right.
the people there also.
Mhm.
So I imagine like if New York is your favorite, I can understand why Denver is not.
Very
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Totally different vibe.
Yeah. I've only ever been to the Denver airport with that terrifying horse out front.
Oh.
And I
Why
only
is
went
that
because I
there?
wanted to see that horse. I was like, I
Really?
have to see it. Yeah.
That's commitment, Maggie.
Yeah, no, we were doing like a cross country road trip, and we're like, let's just
Oh.
drive through Denver and go to the airport. That was our only stop
That
in
is so
Colorado.
funny.
Okay. Well, at least now you can say you've seen
Hey,
it.
yeah, you
Right?
saw
I've been
it.
there. Yeah.
I love that.
Mhm. Do you guys have a favorite place that you've traveled?
So I my freshman year, I got, that refund money.
Oh.
And I spent it for spring break going to Puerto Rico.
Oh, love
And
Puerto Rico.
oh my gosh, it was the best. I wish I explored a little bit more of it, but it was the first time I had ever solo traveled or traveled anywhere at all. So it was just me and my friend, and we got like a hotel room together, and I booked some things through like the hotel, like for adventures for us to explore a bit of Puerto Rico, and it was so beautiful. It was so amazing. And the guy that worked at our hotel was like, he was a local there, so he was like telling us like the history of everything that was
cool.
going on, and parts of the city that we were in, and like giving us the ins of the. We made friends with that guy. Like he was
That
our
is
best
so
friend.
cool. Yeah.
But it was so beautiful. Got to see one of the things we did was we like canoed or kayaked or whatever into this like hidden lake area through like the mangrove trees and saw bioluminescence,
Ooh.
Oh,
which
that's
was
so cool.
so beautiful.
Yeah, that's
Oh
awesome.
my
And
god.
sometimes I think back, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have spent that money, but like I do not regret going to Puerto
Yeah.
Rico.
Mhm.
You know, like
Yep.
maybe
No,
not a good
honestly.
money move, but worth the trip
Oh,
nonetheless.
Yeah.
you'll make the money back eventually.
Yeah,
you know?
like, but it was
worth it.
so incredible. And then one of the other experiences, which was, it was a little interesting, but I'm very deeply fearful of the ocean. I hate bodies of water. I'm scared of them, like the thalassophobia fear. And I booked a thing because I was like, you know what? I have to do this. Forget my fear, whatever. And we wore these giant like sub helmets and walked the ocean floor.
What? Well, you never told me about this. That's crazy.
Stop it.
That is so
And
cool.
me and my friend, I literally, before I put the helmet on, I go, I need you to stay by me because if I lose my shit underwater, I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
my
that's so
God.
cool.
And we both put the helmets on and we were like walking the ocean floor, and they had like some statues and little things in the water. But like it was just looking straight out into the ocean. And I was like, oh my God.
That is crazy.
And there were some little fishies. I was like, this is beautiful. What the heck? Yeah, it was terrifying and scary, but I'm still scared of the ocean, but I do not regret doing that.
Yeah, that is so cool.
But yeah, that
Oh
was
my
some of that's like the most fun place I've ever been. I mean, I've pretty much only been to like Disney World, New York, and then some parts of New England because that's where I'm from, so it's easy to travel.
Yeah.
But yeah, not too many places. Oh, well, and Las Vegas. I went to TwitchCon last year.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for me for going to TwitchCon this year?
So TwitchCon is the reason why I'm in my darkest night.
Really?
Yes, because the same reason that you felt disappointed in yourself is what TwitchCon made me feel. Because I felt like I had gone on the trip and I didn't take advantage of it like I should have. And I came back and I was like, I should have did this, I should have did this. And, I was only at the con for one day, but I feel like I didn't put myself out there as much as I should have and like take the opportunity for being there, considering I spent so much money to be there. But being in Vegas was really, really fun. So my only piece of advice is to just like, if you're going to the con for a reason, just don't be afraid to put yourself out there and like meet up with people you want to meet up with. I went to a lot of the the like seminars and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of streamers go just to meet up with other streamers, but I went to some of the like the lessons and stuff that they had. And it was really interesting just to get some perspective from like other people and see other streamers in there. But yeah, definitely just put yourself out there, as scary as it probably will be. I think it'll be a bit more enjoyable being in San Diego than it was in Vegas though. So I was supposed to go this year, but I'm really excited for everyone that's going this year who didn't go last year. So I think you will have a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah, don't be scared. There's a lot. I know so many people that are going this year that I like. Everyone is probably feeling the same way you are. You know, whether you're nervous or excited or both, like everyone is probably feeling the exact same way. So just find your people and then just ride it out and connect with more people is all I can say.
Yeah, I'm already feeling that feeling where I'm like, I want to take the full advantage of it. And I'm like we are going to like a few mixer events to meet other streamers and stuff, but I'm already feeling like I don't want to miss out on anything or any opportunities. I'm meticulous. Like I literally already have like a list of TikTok videos planned.
Amazing.
I love it. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah, I'm going with a streamer friend. Her name is Puffy Roll, and our communities have like really blended together. So yeah, we're gonna really try to take advantage of that. We kind of have like the same humors and like personalities in some ways, and so like I think it'd be really good. Like I think we could make really good content together. So I'm really excited about that.
That's gonna be perfect.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that.
But I'm sorry that happened to you. Like
it's all right. I came back and I got COVID. So like I got COVID, and all I had to do after coming back, after like feeling a little disappointed in myself, was to sit there and stew in the disappointment.
Yeah.
So like yeah, it was a little rough, but I, you know, at the end of the day, I don't regret going, even if I felt a certain way afterwards. I still went. I still met some of my streamer friends for the first time in person. I met my inspiration content creator for being a content creator. And I got to take a picture. JC Kalen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I used to watch him on YouTube when I was in high school, and me and my friend were like, we'll be YouTubers. We're gonna make cool content like them. And I heard he was going, and he was playing Jackbox with some other creators, and I got to take a picture with him, and I was like, damn, why am I crying right now?
That's so sweet.
But yeah, it was I definitely don't regret the trip as a whole for sure. But it's okay.
you learned and you can grow from it.
Exactly. Yeah. And next time I go to TwitchCon, be prepared, everybody. Because catch me there.
Literally.
All right. Now we have our 2 special questions that we must ask all of our guests.
They're impossibly important.
They are the most important, arguably.
They are. So, if you don't know, our podcast is kind of like fantasy, medieval, knights, wizards, witches, goblins, kind of themed.
Love
Talk a lot about like fantasy novels and like medieval, like the Knights of the Round Table, things like that, and kind of relate them to our own journeys that we're on as we become heroes ourselves. And so for these 2 questions, you're just going to put yourself into that fantasy magical world. And as you're imagining yourself in this world, do you think you are a knight, a wizard, a royal, or a gnome?
Ooh, I feel like a wizard.
Ooh, I
think that's the first wizard we've had.
Really?
Yeah.
So I am our local wizard, and Maggie is our local knight, and we've had so many knights.
Yeah,
we've had so many. I'm glad to welcome you in my ranks. Right?
I don't think I could save anyone.
Well, you trying. That's all that matters, really.
Right.
You're doing your best, but you know, I'm just a little finicky. It's not our fault if they don't ask what they really want. You know?
Yeah.
All right, the next question. Maggie is going to psychoanalyze you.
Okay.
For this next question, you're still in that magical world. You're a magical wizard. You have a fancy robe on, whatever your favorite color is. Some stars, probably a magic wand, and you live in a castle. And this next question is, what does your castle look like, and where is it located?
In as much detail as possible.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, can you say it one more time?
Yeah. Okay, so you have a castle in a magical world. What does it look like, and where is it located?
Okay. I would say it's on a mountain, very isolated from everyone.
We have to trek to get to this
Yeah,
castle.
we're hiking.
And it's very open concept.
Oh, okay.
And lots of animals everywhere.
I love it.
And lots of good food. That's
Oh yes, I love it.
You walk in the doors and smell the feast.
Oh my
there
God.
has to be fresh bread all the time.
Oh, right, I love that.
That's good. Nobody has mentioned what they're eating in their castles yet.
What?
Yeah, nobody has mentioned that at all.
I love that though.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good.
I'm just a foodie.
It's an important part of any castle is the feast.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah, I love that.
I love it.
I mean, if you're royalty, like you should be able to explore all these new foods and stuff. So.
Right? Yeah.
I like that the castle is hard to get to, but once you get there, it's like open and free. It's like you have all the animals there, you got all the food there. It's like very open and accommodating, like juxtaposing the mountain.
Yeah.
Everybody's welcome and like
yeah, they just gotta put in the work to get there. Climb the mountain. Yeah, I love it.
It's like I can trust you if you can get up here.
Prove yourself worthy of my feast that I've made.
Exactly.
Do
That's
you
You're
really
like,
want it?
hey, I'm very welcoming and open and understanding as long as you prove your worth to me.
Oh my God, that is me to a T.
Amazing. No, we truly
I'm
believe.
getting the hang of this.
Yeah, we truly believe that the castle question like shows the deepest parts of your soul. Like whatever castle you build, that's a direct reflection of who you are as a person.
If for those of you on YouTube and Spotify and Mars, like if you go back into our last couple of guests, we've asked them the same question, and specifically our friend Noli's episode. Like, we asked her the same question. She told us her castle, and then Maggie psychoanalyzed her. And she was like, oh my God.
Blew her mind.
Like, exactly me.
Yeah. So crazy.
God.
Yeah.
So if you have an icebreaker coming up, that's a great question to ask people. I ask pretty much anyone I meet.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's very accurate.
It's good.
And the castle's cool as hell, so
and you get to imagine a sick castle, so it's all worth it.
Exactly.
A dream.
I love it. Well, last but not least, Mars. At the end of every single episode, we give our viewers a quest for them to do something fun or pursue whatever they want to pursue. And we would like to have you give our viewers a little quest, if you can think of one.
Okay. A quest like, can you give me examples of past ones?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, of course.
We talked about Joan of Arc and kind of like standing up for what you believe in, going after what you believe in. I think our side quest for that one was register to vote, if I remember that correctly.
It was.
So just, something that you can do during the week that adds a little intentionality, a little focus, kind of, get you out of that regular routine and add a little extra spice to your week. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've had some other ones like pay it forward. So if you go through a drive-through, pay for somebody else's food, or even simpler ones like go buy a plant and put it in your house. Like it could literally be it's endless possibilities. Like whatever comes to your mind.
Write a poem, go for a walk outside. Anything that you think would get our viewers into that, seize the day mindset. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess something that I put into practice is I try to do at least one thing a day to like um just to love myself, like very simple
Ooh.
things,
Mhm.
like making myself breakfast. Like I have trouble like with my most basic needs. So when I make myself like a nice breakfast, it's like, oh my gosh, like, okay, girl, do
You're
your
like,
thing.
yes, all right.
Yeah. So I guess just try to do at least one thing a day that will make you feel good about yourself. And even if it's something small, like making your bed,
Mhm.
those little victories
Yeah.
help build your confidence. And over time, you'll start to feel better about yourself a little bit. Mhm.
I
That's a
love
really
that.
good one. Yeah, I like that.
Perfect.
Perfect side quest. Perfect side quest.
Absolutely. Well, Mars, where can our travelers find you, see you, contact you? How can they reach you?
I am, you can reach me by bird or
Got it.
by letter. No.
Send a
Pigeon.
messenger pigeon.
Yes.
Just scream into the wind and I'll find you.
If you yell into a seashell, Mars will respond.
I'll pick up.
Fun. I am on all platforms as Mars Farts, MarsFartz. So if you want to find me.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Well, Mars, thank you for joining us. One last thing, travelers. It's my birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Aria!
Happy birthday, Ari! I forgot.
What?
That's amazing.
Oh, is that why you have balloons behind you?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so
Birthday?
I celebrated my birthday on stream this past weekend because I won't be able to celebrate on my birthday.
Mhm.
But by the time this episode comes out, it'll be the exact day of my birthday.
Yeah, that's so exciting!
So,
Oh my gosh.
Yep, your girl
Old.
is 25. It's time for my quarter life crisis.
Yep.
Let's go.
So
So
exciting.
happy for you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, go eat some ice
But-
cream or cake.
I know I
Yeah.
gotta celebrate somehow. I got a cupcake for stream. I showed Maggie before. I got a cupcake for stream and it was so gross. I did not eat
Did
it.
not eat it.
Did not
It's for
finish.
show anyway. Yeah.
But
It's for
I
show.
blew out the candle and it was fun. So
That's all that matters, really. Yeah.
but alrighty, travelers.
Yeah.
We shall catch you on Monday for our episode of Dante introduction. And thank you, Mars, for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
See ya.
See ya.